Hey guys, this is Dave from the Hellhammer, and today I'm going to explain a little bit about a campaign I'm running using the Warhammer 40k Crusade rules in our local gaming store here in my hometown. So this setting is the Cliocs system. Now there are 6 planets in this system. You've got Horia, which is the Agri world. There's Zethibos, which is a hive world. There's Oyama, which is a dead world. There's Teoria, which is a shrine world dedicated to the Emperor. You've got Sagnov, which is a death world. All the plants and anything on there is designed to want to kill things. And you've got a planet called Piovis, which has been redacted by the Inquisition. So the Cliocs system is a loyal Imperium system in the northern part of the galaxy. It's now been cut off in Astronomicon due to the Citrix Maledictum. The system has been overrun with the hordes of Chaos, Xenos and various other items and races. The Forces of the Imperium are trying to uphold Imperial law and reclaim the system for the Emperor. The Forces of Chaos are trying to corrupt yet another system, while the Xenos are involved for all their various agendas. So that's a brief overview background of the system. Now the rules around how this crusade is going to work, and the rules we're using for this crusade are pretty much as they are in the core rulebook. Armies built to 50 power level as a roster, but you can use any unit in your roster to make armies for games. So 50 power level gives you a good selection of units. If you want to play smaller games, you just pick units to the required power level. Now I'm using power level for this due to a lot of players in the local gaming store are new to the hobby, and it's easier for them to understand, to get them to learn and encourage them. There are no special characters in this. Players are to create their own characters with backstory and a name, because in the lore of Warhammer 40,000 there is loads of special characters and they all have their own histories. This is a section of galaxy that is a place for people to grow, come up with their own stories. They're to have a background narrative for their faction. I'll go through the different factions and I will explain more about my faction that I'm using for this campaign, the background and narrative, and what the Dark Angels are doing there. You start with 5 requisition points at formation. Now these requisition points are going to be used for your warlord traits, your relics, to increase your supply limit, and various other things. The main rule for this is to have fun. It's a story driven campaign. So what's going to happen is, as games are played, narratives develop, and we're going to go from there. Any upgrades from levelling up, they're to be picked, but there has to be a narratively good reason. Like, for example, my warlord keeps tanking damage. It doesn't quite kill him most of the time. So due to that, I've taken a warlord trait that reduces his damage by 1. Narratively, that's what's been happening in the game, with him just taking wounds and not actually dying from them. So to represent that, I chose a warlord trait for it. And it's not a powerful warlord trait in some ways. In others, it can be. So as the campaign's going, 2 weeks in, the Dark Angels, on arriving on system, made an assault on the Agri-World Horia, where the Death Guard were trying to corrupt the planet. The Dark Angels dropped in and realised that the Death Guard were a lot stronger than they thought, and they had to retreat. On the way back to their strike cruiser, they received word the word bearers attacking the Shrine World Trioria and revealing information that the Dark Angels would rather wasn't revealed. The Dark Angels attempted a surgical strike on the Dark Apostle, but failed to remove the powerful voice and return to the ship empty-handed. So to deal with the word bearer problem, and hopefully to find some fallen to force to repent, so they can clear their name and stop being unforgiven, they drew up a new plan and started to attack the supply lines. However, the astropaths have revealed many more warp disturbances are on the way into the system. There is a presence of a shadow on its way in, and some things that are better left unsaid are stirring under the ground of Piovis. Armies that are involved at the moment are myself with Dark Angels, led by Company Master Asteran of the 3rd Company. We have 2 Chaos factions at the moment, the Word Bearers and the Death Guard. We also have had sightings of Tau from the Farsight Enclaves. Her warlord is Fireblood, is his name, and he pilots a Cold Star battlesuit. So they're the 4 factions at the moment. More people are joining and more factions will be entering the fray, and I will narratively fit them in. The Dark Angels. Strike Force Asteran consists of elements from all 3 wings of the Dark Angels. So we have Deathwing, Ravenwing and Greenwing elements, and they are led by Asteran, Company Master of the Dark Angels. He's accompanied by an Interrogator Chaplain. In case any fall in a court, he can then interrogate them. He's also backed up from the Green Wing by a Whirlwind, Relic Contemptor Dreadnought, Brother Corhael. He also has 2 tactical squads and an infiltrator squad. And this is the core of his strike force, to which he has been given the forces of Squad Belian, which is a Deathwing Terminator squad, and also the Lion Shields, which is a Blade Guard veteran squad. And the Raven Wing, he has a Raven Wing attack squadron with an attack bike. So that's the core of the Dark Angels army. That's what's campaigning in the Cliocs system. I've played a few games, started to develop. So that's an overview of the campaign that's being run. I think it's a good narrative. People seem to be wanting to be interested, and the missions going forward will start to be picked based on the story that each faction wants to tell. So my first game against the Word Bearers was an assassination mission using the old Legions Astartes tactic of go for the head. Cut off the head, the body will fall. Unfortunately, the Dark Angels failed in that. So as the campaign goes on, I'll add more and more information, more videos, and we'll see where it goes from there. But for now, this is Dave from Hellhammer, signing off.